Hey, what's up guys, it's George, and in this video I want to share about my personal financial investment strategy. I've had a couple people recently who've asked about this based on some of my recent videos, and so I thought I'd do a quick video sharing about this. And I just want to start off by saying I'm not a financial investing guru by any means. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. I'm just sharing my own personal financial investment strategy that works for me, and that based on my knowledge and experience, based on my research and everything up into this point in my life. So understand this is just what I'm doing. Maybe you can get a few ideas from this, maybe not. But yeah, let's go. So just to start off also by saying that my research is based on various books and courses and so forth that I've taken, which I'll recommend. Tony Robbins' Money Master the Game, a great book that goes into depth about excellent financial investment strategies. I also went to the Tony Robbins Business Mastery Seminar. It's expensive, but well worth it. Excellent, highly recommend. Also, David Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. That book, very simple principles, but I owe it a lot because that book helped me get out over debt, out of debt at over $100,000 in debt, and using the principles of that book helped me to pay it off. Oh, I'm getting a call right here, of course. Everybody's always calling me right when I'm doing a video. Total Money Makeover, Donald Trump, Think Like a Billionaire, oh my gosh, Warren Buffett's The Snowball, and a bunch of other books that'll probably come to me in a minute here. But I'm investing. My strategy is more focused on the long term. And mine is more of a conservative type of approach, more of a safe and secure conservative type of investment strategy focused on the long term, because eventually I want to get to the point where my money is working for me, and that I'm getting, I'm in a position where I'm making enough interest from income from the interest from my investments that I can be in a position where I don't need to work, and I can only work. I'll work on my terms and my time frame, and that's a good place to be in, because then there's a lot of pressure off, and you truly have freedom to be able to do what you want when you want. And so that's why I'm focused on the long term, and I like having a more of a conservative type of approach to it, because there's less risk. I've lost everything multiple times in my life, so at this point I like to I've learned lessons the hard way. But if you want to try to speed things up in a risky approach, then that's great. So I invest about a third of my monthly income into my investment portfolio. I invest about 10% of that income, of that 1/3. I invest about 10% of it into I use a website, a software called Betterment.com, which is been investing in it for years. Highly recommend it. I'm not affiliated with it or anything. Very reputable company, and it's basically like a robo-investor, where you can create accounts in there that you choose. You decide the level of risk, or the level, how conservative and safe you want them to be, and it's very simple. You, for example, my 10% that I invest into one of my accounts in there is into a higher risk type of portfolio, but then this robo-investor automatically diversifies it over hundreds and hundreds of stocks and mutual funds and bonds, etc. It does it all automatically. That's the nice thing about this. And so it is tend to be more tickered towards the higher risk, because this is an extremely long-term account. That investing, I'm not even thinking about looking at it for many decades. And so the nice thing about focusing on the long run is that you can have more of a riskier approach, because it's okay. Because over the long term, when you're diversified over so many stocks and bonds and mutual funds like that, the odds are in your favor that it's going to go up. And just for example, a similar type of investment strategy would just be investing in something like the S&P 500, which is just a diversification of the top, I believe, 500 stocks, companies, and so forth. And studies have shown that the S&P 500 over the decades and over the time outperforms almost everything else. And even the best financial advisors and investors have a hard time keeping up to the performance level of just the basic S&P 500, because over time the odds are in your favor. So that's what's nice about this investing like this. So I invest about 10% of my income into this one account alone. Then I also invest about 5 to 10% of my monthly income into another account within Betterment that is more towards the conservative side, spread out between more conservative types of stocks. And this I call this account my dream bucket, because this is more of a shorter term investing, where this is whatever I put into there, I plan to take out over the next year to a couple years, maybe to buy a new car, to go on vacation, etc. You get what I mean? More shorter term type of plan. So that's why it is more conservative, because I don't want to have to deal with the roller coaster of investing as much over the short term. And then I also invest about 5% of my monthly income into riskier types of investments. For example, in this 5%, I invest into cryptocurrency every single month. I invest in a cryptocurrency every month, various different cryptocurrencies. And then I also invest into, part of this 5% is investing into pure gold and silver, which I don't even know if that would really be considered risky, investing into gold and silver, but it's just more of kind of a, I don't know, it just falls into that category for me. So, but because gold and silver is good. It is a good investment long term. So, but yeah, that's really it. Just invest. Oh yeah, and I also do max out my retirement account every single month. As an entrepreneur, you can invest, I believe, about $5,500 a year, if I'm not mistaken, into your retirement account. And so that's what I do. I invest. I max it out every single year, and I highly recommend that, regardless of what your strategy is, just because there's a lot of tax savings and benefits to doing that. And if investing 1/3 of your monthly income seems like a lot or extreme, then you can absolutely do it. You just got to find ways to cut back on your spending. Got to work on that defense, which you absolutely can. I recommend to do a serious monthly review, looking at your finances as if it's a business, which it is, and go through and see ways you can cut back on your spending. And I promise you, there are ways you can cut back on your spending. You may not just want to let go of certain things, but if you want to have that freedom someday, then I highly recommend it. You can still live a good life without blowing a lot of money on stuff. But also, if you really don't want to let go of things, then make more money, which is what I teach on this channel. How to also work on the offense, which is making more money. And that's the beautiful thing, about this country. It's not perfect, but there's a lot of opportunity to make money, and I demonstrate that and teach that on this channel, the many different ways to simply make money with your home-based business without needing a lot of money or experience. And there are a zillion other ways to make money too, besides just what I teach. And so, remember, focus on money as an offense and a defense, but you want to try to figure out how you can invest, regardless, 1/3 of your monthly income, if possible, because that's going to allow you to get to freedom so much quicker. And so maybe you look at ways you can cut back on your spending, and also focus on ways that you can make more money. So that way you can get to that freedom as quick as possible. And then I'm saving up heavily also, because my long-term game is to get into real estate. I want to start investing in rental properties, and really play the real estate game. Mobile homes, etc. That's something I've been researching a lot about, investing into mobile homes, buying mobile homes cash, and then investing them. That'll be part of that. I'll have to see which place that allocate, probably into the 5% riskier type of approach. But yeah, so this is my strategy based at this time in my life. I'm sure a couple years from now it might evolve and change, but this is where it's at right now. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below. And until next time, guys, keep crushing it. Keep making that money, saving it. Let's make it a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year. Let's make it a great life. See ya.